Welcome to Cadence Design Systems Fidelity Tutorial Tuesday. Today I will show you how to import meridional curves in Fidelity to create ZR effects. So a ZR effect is an axisymmetric geometrical feature which is not part of the main blade channel. For example, it can be a hub or shroud cavity. This video is part 1 of a 3-part series, and we will focus on the geometry context and the definition of the ZR effect. So here I am using Fidelity 2024.1, and I have opened a turbo project in which I've already loaded a blade and channel, but not any meridional curves yet. So the first step in this geometry context will be to import the meridional curves, which will serve as the boundary of your ZR effect. So if you go right here to the top left, you can switch to the CAD linking layout. So I'm going to click on this, and now any geometry file that you have imported in Fidelity will appear on the right. So that would be any DAT file, any CAD, PowerSolid, any of those formats. So here you can see that I do have already my 2 curves that have been loaded. So I will come back in the tree on the left and add a ZR effect. So in this case, this is a ZR effect with 2 channel connections. If I only had one, I would click on this button above, but I have 2 channel connections, so I'm gonna click on this one. And what you can see is that under the ZR effects, you now have a new ZR effect that you can rename if you want to, containing an inner and an outer boundaries. And right now the symbols are in red because no curves have been linked to those boundaries. So we are going to add those curves and link them. Since here I have many segments, what I can do is I can try to select them all. So what we'll do is we will hide the suction and pressure side, and I will also select all the curves that I do not want to link and right click and hide, and I will also do the same for those 2. I'm gonna hide them. There we go. And now actually I can select using using a drag and drop here and select all those curves. And to link them to the meridional view, I can click on this button right on the left of channel, which says append curve in meridional configuration. So if I click on this, the curves will appear here in the meridional view. And now I can hide the CAD linking layout because I have my curves, and I can come back to the ZR effect and define the boundary. So there are 2 buttons here, the boundary definition and the rotor-stator creation. So we're gonna do both, starting from the boundary definition, and I can click on either one. It doesn't matter which one you do first, as long as one of them is inner and the other one is outer boundary. And both curves need to intersect the channel curve. In this case, it's the shroud. So both ZR effect curves should intersect the shroud, in this case, the shroud curve. So you can make those curves come a little bit into the channel. That's totally fine. And so I'm gonna click on exit. And we need to create a rotor-stator for all the ZR effects which have 2 connections with the channel. We need to create a rotor-stator. It can be anywhere, but you should try to not create the rotor-stator where you have a lot of flow recirculation. So in this case, for example, if I put it right here, that's a good spot. Because here there's less flow recirculation than if I were doing it in the tooth here. So I'm gonna left click, and then right click to stop, and I have my my rotor-stator. If you need to redo the rotor-stator somewhere else, you just go ahead and click, right-click, and it will overwrite the previous location. So you can just do it multiple times if you need to correct the rotor-stator location. Okay. So now you can see that we have green symbols here for the inner and outer boundary. So it means that it is properly defined. So at this point, what I can do is create a mesh setup. So I'm going to click on the turbo machine and come here to the top left, create mesh setup from the selection. And it says that my periodicity is not set, but the mesh setup is created. Let's go ahead and adapt the periodicity of row 1. We're gonna say it's 17, for example. And now we are ready to start meshing, and this will be the subject of part 2 of this 3-part series. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, be sure to click the thumbs up button to subscribe to our channel for more upcoming videos like this. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please drop us a line down below or connect with us on LinkedIn, which is linked in the description. Thank you all and have a great Tuesday.